Live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to Fantasy Golf TV with Jeff Deal. No sidekick today, but we do have our friend Brian Steffen, the golf monger himself and sports monger, on the line. He's Skyped in. And Brian, are you there?
I am here. How you doing, my friend?
Good, Brian. Thanks for joining us. I know you're very busy, and we appreciate you spending some time with us and helping the folks out there with their teams. And my computer's going wacky. I'm trying to bring up your team right now. As soon as I clicked on your team, things went blank. So I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure. There it is. You're in third place. You had 200 points this past week.
I did. I had a good week.
I had a really good week. Did you have Kirk?
I did not.
He played well in that soggy mudfest.
I did not even have Kirk. Ben Martin, Jordan Spieth, combination of Kevin Kisner, Zach Johnson, Boo Weekley, and Sean Stefani got the job done for me.
That's good. That's a great week. That really is. And
yeah, I got, for once I shuffled the cards almost 100% correct. I probably could have earned a couple more points. Not enough to win the week in our league, but I could have got a few more points if I'd have made a couple of different changes. But overall, 200 points, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our leader this week is 2 off the first tee again. He's been doing well all year. I think he's still leading the league overall.
Yes.
And Shank MB, our one and only Shan Coughlin, who's in the back, busy in her office. She is. Her and her husband, Frank, have leaped up again. They're in third place now in our league. She's done really well. He kept sticking with Chris Kirk and Frank, and I think in their family they had some arguments at the dinner table all week. But Frank certainly knows what he's doing, and so does Shan. So I dropped a couple of points, and
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm not too happy. Although overall, I'm still doing pretty good. I'm in 8th place for the segment, but I'm still doing pretty good. I have 6 top 10s. I have 1 top 3. I'm not where I wanted to be, but I decided not to start Jordan. I know last show when you were on it, I was going to put Jordan Spieth, and I could only use him 2 more times this year, and I decided not to. At the last minute, I changed my whole team. I actually had Chris Kirk, and I dropped him. So it's I'm struggling a little bit, and so I'm going to need your advice on this coming week. Obviously, I always like to look back. Chris Kirk played really well. Obviously, his favorite venue, he's a former Georgia Bulldog who won the Hogan Award, for the nation's top collegiate golfer back in 2007. So he loves that venue, and it's something special to him. And it was such a soggy day. And I'm going to look at those soggy days, and when he's playing that live clean in place rule, I like him because.
It's one of those things that he kind of he was just steady all week. If you looked at his scores, he shot in the 60s all 4 days, but none of them were he didn't go crazy low one day.
Right.
He just stayed the course and played well and. He went 33-33 on Sunday.
Yep.
On a par 70 to ice the lead and that 6-footer, that probably looked like 15 feet on 18.
Yeah.
On the 72nd hole to to seal the deal. Probably was about as good a par putt, a 6-foot par putt he's made in his career.
Well, I remember last week's show. There were a couple of names I threw out that I was trying to help the folks out with, and Boo Weekley was one of them, and he shot lights out the first day. But I do have to tell you, and I was because I was giving that information out through texting and through my Facebook and Twitter pages, and at the last minute, I pulled him off my team, and he went lights out the first day, and then he obviously just fell off the wagon. And didn't play well for the 3 rounds, so he wound up coming in 47th place. Which I'm, not that I'm glad for that. I'm just glad the fact that I didn't have him on my team. But there were the other 2 names I had mentioned: Ian Poulter, who was right up there in the lead, got you a lot of points. Again, I did not put him on my team. These are the mistakes that I make as a golf fantasy guru that I call myself. And then the one guy I do keep on my team, Kevin Na. What does he do? He doesn't do a thing on that fourth round. Jeff and I were talking earlier behind the glass about I just learned something about Kevin Na, and you just got to bench him in the fourth day no matter what.
Yeah, he's not a closer by any
especially
by any
those
stretch.
conditions. We were talking about those conditions, and yeah, it's lift, clean in place and all that, but still walking through, it was muddy, and it was. I knew some people that were there, and they were telling me that they threw their shoes out when they got home. There was no fixing them. So it was that bad.
Let me tell you, this is another discussion for another time, but lift, clean in place is for the birds when you're a professional golfer.
Well, not necessarily though.
No, it absolutely, unless your ball's embedded in some way, shape, or form. Lift, clean, and cheat, as our good friend Hugh Roy III likes to say.
Take it for a guy who plays in flip-flops, right?
Is
he does.
Yeah,
Brian plays in flip-flops.
Is there a rule against playing in flip-flops?
No, not at all. But
okay. But what I'm saying is, and I'm also an 11 handicap, so it doesn't matter what I do. You're the best golfers in the world, and just because it rained a bit and the course is soggy, you got to be able to pick the ball up and clean it off and then basically tee it up again.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I've never liked that. I've never been a fan of that.
Listen, I'm a firm believer. They put that in place for a reason. It can be very difficult, especially chipping around greens.
What?
And it's
they're the best golfers in the world.
You're right. And
I don't. Oh, it can be difficult. Wham. So you should stop playing football games when it's snowing because it can be difficult. Or you shouldn't play baseball when it's 110 degrees in July because it's too hot.
Good point.
I mean, come on.
You could just deflate the footballs. That works.
You could just deflate. Change the golf balls. Whatever. I mean, it's stupid that professionals have to use lift, clean, in place. Listen, an embedded ball is totally different.
I'll tell you, you ever hit a ball when you got a whole big chunk of mud on the side of it? You don't know which way it's going to go. Then you're dealing with some spectators hitting the noggin.
If you think they make that rule because they're worried about spectators getting hit in the noggin, shame on you, Jeff. No. You're smarter than that. You know damn well that's not why that rule's in place.
I understand.
You know why that rule's
well, listen, talk about way, and the whole region is underwater now, right? So let's move on to the golf course coming up, TPC, another TPC course, by the way.
4 Seasons.
4 Seasons in Texas. Again, it's going to be wet. The weather's unpredictable. But they lengthened this golf course. I don't know if you read. Did you read about the course at all, Brian?
I have not yet.
They've changed a few things, and some of the. I mean, number 14 usually always plays as the hardest hole, but they changed hole number 12 completely. Completely from tee to green. The severe mounting, they softened a little bit. They have a new elevated green. It fits the eye much better to some of the players. They were talking about it. I heard them talking about it. There's new fairway bunkers at the beginning of the fairway, 2 on the other side, on the left side of the fairway, a large bunker that guards the approach on the green. So it's going to give players a new look. Remember last week when I talked about the old guard? All the younger kids were winning week after week, but I said watch out for the old guard. And here a 30-year-older, Chris Kirk, wins it. Not old, but still younger than those 24, 25, 26-year-olds, older than that. So I think it sets up the same way this course coming up. Look for the old guard to kind of come through with their experience on a course like this. That's changed a little bit, and I like the older guard to come through on this, although you always look at who's hot, right? Who's hot? Who's the hottest golfer right now, pretty much, if you ask me. I think Kevin Kistner is just on the verge, and he is one of my favorites this week.
Is he in the field?
I think so, yeah. He's got to be. He's 2 spots out of the U.S. Open. He still hasn't qualified for the U.S. Open. He's been playing so well, but he's still trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. So I'm pretty sure he's in the field.
He must be on the C list then, because I haven't seen his name yet.
I'll bring it up now. I'm still on last week. I'm still in my misery here. Did you see the A list? How short it is?
Yeah, it's very
It's
short.
like nobody on it. But let me check my C list here.
He is not in the field that I have seen.
Really? What? This he's 2 shots out of the 2 points out of the in world golf rankings anyway.
Right.
Out of the Open, he's got to be playing. I'm surprised at that. I'll have to, and that's why that's why I'm there Thursday morning at 5 a.m. before they go off. I'm resetting my team just to make sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of this week, I like something about Harris English is just struck me a little bit on this venue. And right now, one of the hottest golfers is Brandt Snedeker, too. So I like those two guys.
I like Sneds. I like Harris English. I like Jason Day's a past winner of this event. He hasn't been playing that great lately, but, you know, you get a guy to a venue that he's had success at before, things can change. You know, Jimmy Walker, you talk about a veteran guy at a place like this. I kind of like where he's at. You know you go down to the C list. I mean, there's a boatload of names in the C list again, and we've talked about him before. But speaking of hot golfers, Jerry Kelly.
Yeah, he holed out right this week.
Speaking of old dogs.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's playing really well right now. I like him. I do.
Last 3 tournaments, he's got a top 10, and his average finish is 16th place.
That's great. That's that's a good pick.
Is he a guy you think is going to win the tournament? Of course not.
At this point, I just need points, so I like that pick right there.
That's what I'm saying. You got to look at points.
Well, who's defending champ? Brendan Todd. In 2013, Sang Moon Bae. He didn't get deported back to Korea yet, did he? I know he's been fighting in the courts about that, but
he might have.
2012 is Jason Duffner, and 2011 Keegan Bradley. So Jason's kind of coming back around a little bit. I know we talked about it. You weren't high on him a couple of weeks ago, and I think he's starting to get back into it a little bit. He's realizing his personal life probably is getting in order after what happened to him, is splitting up with his wife. So I like him this week. I think the venue sets up well for him. And I know you're not high on Keegan Bradley, but I love the ball flight. I love what he does in his game for this type of venue. So I like Keegan Bradley as well.
Well, he's a former winner as well, so it's not a bad pick. I would go with Brendan Todd for 2 reasons as the defending champ, but so far, what he's been doing this year, you know, he's got what's he got? He's got 3 top 10s.
Yep.
You know, he's been steady. He played well last week. You know, I like him out of that C pool, and I wouldn't be disappointed with if, you know, as my twosome out of the C pool is Brendan Todd and Keegan Bradley.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't argue vehemently. I'm not a big fan of Keegan's, but you know, guy has won here before.
I liked him. He played so well last year. Shot 68, 64, 68, and then 66 to win it. Mike Weir came in second. And Charles Howell III was T3 with Mark Leishman.
Yeah.
But there's Boo Weekley again, tied for 5th last year at this venue. I know he did not play well those 3 rounds, but I know he's a fighter. And he's the best ball striker on tour, according to the tour players, his peers. I'm not giving up on him. I think I might be putting him on my team this week.
That's, you know what? That's not it's not a bad thought. He's in the C pool.
He is.
He could be your second player if you like Keegan.
Yeah.
He could be your other player. And the key with Boo is you just got to pick which round he's going to play well.
Yeah.
It generally starts out good and fades. So
now,
we talked about him last week, and you didn't play him, and you said you were glad. But let me tell you why I'm glad I kept him on my team, and I'm glad I did, because I played him. I started him, and he went 6 under the first day, and then I just had a feeling, and I switched to Sean Stefani the second day.
Home run.
And then when Boo started playing, but the only day I played Boo was Thursday, the first day. So
that was a home run for you right there.
It was. That's a big reason why. Like I said, I got lucky this week for the first time in several weeks where I've actually had good teams the last few weeks and just picked the wrong days to play the wrong guys.
Right.
And, you know, and that's our good friend Gene Weldon has said this many, many times, the professor. It's not always about you don't even have to have the winner. You just got to play the right guys on the right days.
Well, in terms of, I'm going to bring up our league here. We got a lot of people in this league, and Fantasy Boyfriends right now is leading. She's actually tied for first place with 2 off the first tee. Jimmy Biggs from Crow Creek. Jimmy is sitting in third, as well as you are sitting in fourth all alone. Mm-hmm. And then there's one of my members at Barefoot in fifth place. Chris Vest, one of our friends here in Myrtle Beach, is in sixth, and I'm sitting in seventh. But there's only about 40 points from third to me, so I'm okay with that spot. Although I'm a little depressed about what happened this week. So one of the guys that's going on my team this week, because again hometown, and I didn't do it this past week, I'm going to put Jordan Spieth on my team for sure. I'm going to start him all 4 days, and I am hoping he's going to win it. And,
don't get carried away with starting him all 4 days.
I think he's what happens, because he played so well this week coming towards the end, and I remember him warming up there hoping for that playoff, and you sensed in that interview afterwards when he knew he wasn't in it the disappointment, and I just feel that he's on the verge just to smoke the field again. And that's why it's just a gut. I mean, it's not a gut when you're dealing with one of the best players in the world, but it's a gut of mine. I'm just gonna stick with him. He's got the best scoring average out of all PGA Tour players right now. Jason Day is second. Rory is third. Webb Simpson is fourth. A lot of people don't realize that, but Jordan Spieth, I'm going to stick with that scoring average. And
I'm just saying you're blind to say, well, I'm just going to put him in all 4 days. You got to pay attention to what he's doing.
Well, there's no question. I mean, if he doesn't play well that first day, I'll rethink it. But I'm just confident that he's going to play well in this venue, and it's a gut feeling. I think he's going to smoke the field.
And he very well may. I'm not going to play him this week because I've got events down the road. I've only got him for 4 or 5 more starts, and I've got a few events down the road. I want to have him available.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, with those events, the PGA Championship, I'm looking at those venues, the U.S. Open coming up, the British, the Open Championship. For some reason, those venues bother me with Jordan's game. How he hits a little higher ball and he hits those cuts. With these venues, you better be able to hit a low draw at will coming up in some of these, at Chambers Bay.
Well, right. And here's the thing. I have 4 starts for him left because you talked me into starting him last week. And then you didn't.
And then I didn't.
And I
Sorry
thank you
about
very
that.
much for doing that. No, I thank you very much because he got me a lot of points. I played him 3 of the 4 days. I didn't play him the first day, and then I didn't start him, and then I played him the rest of the way. Saturday hurt me, and again, that was, I almost played my players perfect, but I like him at the Open. I like him at the U.S. Open. I don't think I like him at the Open Championship. And depending on the PGA's wide open, so I don't know that I'm not worried about using them there. But we're looking big picture, end of the season.
Yeah.
I might want to have him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in trouble with that, no question about it. And folks, that's I'm here to help you, and don't do what I did with one guy, but I did. I used him too much early on, and I was leading the league early on, and that's great. But look what happens now. Now we've got another 12, 14 weeks left, and I'm in trouble.
Yeah, see, there's just it. We got 14 weeks left, and I may have saved, but it hasn't hurt me. But I still have like 7 starts with Rory.
Me too. Not many people have used him early on. So, and that was just due to his schedule. So
I didn't use him a lot in the beginning. Well, even when he was in the field and everybody was using him, a lot of times I didn't because I didn't feel that. I thought there were better options.
I will say, folks, Brian, you are leading our TGD Radio and TV League, and it's just an apt name that you named your team. Be the winner, Brian. You're you're doing really well. You've got 3 wins for this segment in the spring. You've got 5. This is weekly finishes. You've got 10 top 10s. You've got 5 top 3s, and you got 3 wins, and you're doing real good. I'm in second place. I'm not far behind you overall in overall season points as well as segment points. So I'm right there with you in the other league we're in. So
we're both chasing our good friend the Crow Pro barely in the full season.
He's quiet. I haven't talked to him in a while. I know he's been busy, and I haven't talked to him much, but I know he's plugging right along.
Has anybody talked to him? He's a busy man.
Well, I know he was down in Florida with his dad, our courses are all busy here in Myrtle Beach. So thank you folks for coming to play Myrtle Beach. Where America comes to play.
That's right.
Our Twitter, folks, you can contact us Twitter at Fantasy Golf TV. You can contact us through Facebook, facebook.com/fantasygolftv, and fantasygolftv.com, as well as thegolfdirector.com. You can click on the TGD TV tab, then scroll down and click on the Fantasy Golf TV live player. You can do that and watch us live, watch us on demand. So, Brian, thank you for being on. Brian, give me one solid pick, one guy.
The one solid pick?
Yep. Who's going to win it?
I like the defending champ. He's been playing really solid lately. But if you're going to hold a gun to my head and say who's the winner, I might have to lean with the hometown kid. I think I might have to say Jordan Spieth. I think you talked me into playing him again, even though I wasn't going to. I think you may have talked me into it.
Good stuff. Well, Brian, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. I know
I could do it,
very
busy.
Even
though I couldn't be there sitting next to you. I'm glad I could dial in.
Well, good stuff, Brian. Thank you. And Jeff, thanks for all you do over there behind the glass. Appreciate it, folks. So hopefully we helped you out a little bit. I'm not giving you any winners this week. I'm just clueless right now. So, but I do like Jordan too. If you guys have a lot of plays with Jordan, I would put him on your team as well as Brendan. But TVGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured golf course pages, where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Hashtag JustCallDave. Call us at 844-GO-GOLF1. That's 844-464-6531. All of our TGD programming is archived for your listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on a show you missed, click on the TGD Radio and TGD TV tabs in the menu at thegolfdirector.com. We are now available on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and the Myrtle Beach Golf app, which I have on my phone. It's wonderful. I am your host, Jeff Deal. I do appreciate Brian for being on the air with me through Skyping in, so appreciate that, Brian.
Anytime, brother.
We thank you for tuning in, and there's more TGD golf news and information coming up, so stay tuned.